Angus, Mr. Tony here. Just a quick one. I just wanted to make a quick video for you just to see if I can get you started playing your guitar. And I know very well how hard it is to actually get started. Probably one of the first things that's a real hassle is the pain in your fingers. Unfortunately, you have to go through that. I can tell you that it lasts it takes like a couple of months of daily playing to work through that, but once you've done it, then it's over. And the only way to get through that pain, unfortunately, is to play and get your fingers to toughen up. So the ends of my fingers on my fretting hand, my left hand, are pretty much, I can't feel anything. They're quite hard now. Yeah, you just have to get through it. And I think most musical instruments have something like that you have to get through. Next thing, just to so that we know how I'm going to be speaking about playing, just a few sort of conventions. Obviously, this is my thumb. This is my index finger, my middle finger, my ring finger, and my little finger, or some people call it a pinky. The fingers that usually are most difficult to use is the pinky and the ring finger, because you don't really use them too much normally. Again, that's just a matter of practice, and they will start to work for you. We will also sometimes call this the first, the second, the third, and the fourth finger. Okay, and in piano, I think they call the thumb P, but anyway, I will always just call it the thumb. For fretting, you don't use it too much. Sometimes you put it over the top like that, but that took me 6 months until I could manage to reach my thumb over the top to use it for fretting, so we won't worry about that too much in the beginning. Going back to the frets, I don't know if you know this, but you can see on the neck of the guitar you've got these wires. These are called the frets. So if I wanted you to put your finger inside the first fret, that would be it, and normally you try and get your finger nice and close to that fret wire, okay, to get the best sound. But again, in the beginning, we'll just worry more about getting you up and playing, then you can think about those details a bit later on. So first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret. Regarding the strings, you probably know that it's E, A, D, G, B, E. Good way to remember that is Eddie, 8, Dynamite, Goodbye, Eddie. Okay, you've got 6 strings. For some reason, this one is the first string, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So the thickest one is the 6th string. Okay, the thickest one is the 6th string. And also, one thing that took me a long time to get my head around is that this string, which in reality is at the top, is actually called the low E string, and that doesn't refer to the position; it just refers to the pitch. So obviously, the 6th string is lower than the first string, which is also an E, but that's the high E, and that's the low E. Know this stuff, but for some reason it confused me, because I was thinking for ages that this must be the low one, this is the high one, but it's not. It's referring to the pitch. Okay, now we've got those things out of the way. I just wanted to talk to you about, to me, the 4 sort of fundamental chords that you should learn straight away, that will allow you to play a simple version of probably 80 to 90% of all songs, okay? Pop songs in particular. And so they are E minor, C major, G, and D. Okay, and lots of pop songs use these chords, and quite often in this order, which is called a chord progression. Okay, which is the order of chords that you play. A chord is basically 3 or more notes played together. Okay, so Let me just show you that one again. So E minor, C, G, and this is the chord progression that's used in Alone by Alan Walker. Okay, so he's singing if this night is not forever, at least we are together. I know I'm not alone, I know I'm not alone. Anywhere, whenever, apart but still together. I know I'm not alone, I know I'm not alone, I'm not alone. Okay, and I think I was explaining to you the other day that that's a simplified way of playing it, but you're not in key. So if you want to play along, if you want to learn it and then play along to the real song, say like put it on YouTube and play along to it, you're going to have to use a capo. I don't know if you have one of these. If you don't, ask me on Saturday. I've probably got a spare one that I can lend to you. And what you do, so I'll play the E and you'll see the difference. So this is the E minor, and to be in the same key as Alan Walker, you put this one on the 3rd fret. Okay, play that same shape, and you can hear the it's higher. Okay, so C, G, D. Mine is not forever, at least we are together. I know I'm not alone, I know I'm not alone. Anywhere, whenever. And let me just check that. Just 2, 3. Yeah, so when you play the E minor in this with the capo on, the chord is actually changed to a G minor, and then the C changes to a D sharp, the G changes to an A sharp, D changes to an A sharp, sorry, the G changes to an A sharp, and the D changes to a F major. Okay, so yeah, so just for now I'll leave the capo off, but just be aware that the chord progression is the same, but I'm in the wrong key. Okay, and I don't want to bother you too much to think about what I mean by the wrong key. Just know that if you want it to sound, you can play exactly the same chords, but you need to play them a little bit down the fretboard. Same shapes, but put a capo on if you want it to sound exactly like Alan Walker. Okay, but we'll get started in here. So what I want you to do is we're going to start with this E minor. Just got the notes up in front of me on the computer. I'll just put it back into E minor. Okay, so what I want you to do is get your first finger, right, and I want you to put that on the 5th string in the 2nd fret, like that. Okay, and then I want you to get your sorry, I'm not waving my middle finger at you, but your 2nd finger or your middle finger, and I want you to put that on the 4th string in the 2nd fret, like that. Okay, you can see that, and you're going to strum all 6 just down like that. Okay, and you want to be playing 4 of those, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to change chords, especially when you're new to guitar, that can be quite tricky. And a tip is maybe you just don't play all 4. So you could go like this. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll change 2, 3, 4. So from the E minor, we're going to change to C major. And this is where what I will call an anchor finger idea comes in. And what that is this the middle finger that's on that fourth string in the second fret is in the right position for the C. So you're not going to move that one, right? So what you're going to do when you make that change, okay, that's your E minor. When you make that change, you're going to lift your first finger or your index finger off, and you're going to move that down into the first fret on the second string. You can see that. Fortunately, I've got very big fingers, so it's quite difficult, but you can probably see that. And then your third finger, you want to put that on the fifth string in the third fret, right? Of these four chords, in my opinion, the C is probably the most difficult, but probably the most common. A lot of songs are in the key of C, or they start on C, and it's all over the place. You need this one. Just get it under your fingers now, and then you're away. And on this one, what you want to do is you don't want to strum. It doesn't matter too much if you do, but you want to try not to strum the low E string, okay? You want to just try these the five higher strings, okay? Otherwise it sounds a bit muddy. Later on, when you've been playing for a while, you'll see what I mean. Your thumb will naturally just come over the top and mute that one. But in the beginning, just try them. And it doesn't have to be perfect, don't worry about it. Okay, but remember, keep this one like an anchor. Keep that string, keep that finger there on that fourth string in the second fret, and just pivot. So you could even practice that for a while. Just that change that. So you could go E minor, C major, E minor, C major. Okay, but maybe in the beginning you could just do it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 use that time to make the change. And once you start to get that smooth, then you could try like this. You could go maybe like 1, 2, 3, change, 2, 3, change, 1. Okay, gradually building up until you can do it, till you can get that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So the song goes like this. So we'll go E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4 to C, 2, 3, 4 to G, 2, 3, 4. Right. In G, there's no there's no sort of anchor finger for you to move easily. So what you want to do is you need to lift your pinky or your little finger, and you can just leave the little finger off, but a lot of people, including me, will play the G with the little finger on that high E string in the third fret, and then this ring finger, you want that on the second string in the third fret, so those two are together like that. And then you want your index finger on the fifth string in the second fret, and then you want your middle finger on the sixth string on the third fret. So you've got 3 fingers in that third fret, okay? And then you want to strum all 6 strings. So, oops, my sleeve on there a bit. So, all 6, okay? That's your G major. Some people will call this a big G, and a lot of bands play the G this way. And then once you've done that, the next chord will be a D, and the D also has this anchor finger idea. So you've got that ring finger that's sitting on the second string of the third fret, you don't need to move that. So all you need to do, let your pinky just off if you've been using it. Keep that ring finger where it is, and your other two fingers, so your first and your middle finger, your middle finger is going to go on the high E string in the second fret, and your index finger is going to go on the third string in the second fret. Kind of makes like a triangle shape. Again, hard to see with mine because I got big fingers, but I'm sure it's very easy for you to look at chord diagrams online. So to get those chord shapes, remember you're just looking for an E minor, so you could Google something like, I don't know if you've got a chord book or not, but you could Google something like E minor chord, E minor guitar chord, C major guitar chord, G major guitar chord, D major guitar chord, and it'll show you exactly where to put your fingers, and you'll see what I mean by those anchor fingers that don't move. So you want to do the same thing again. You want to maybe just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. With that D, again, you just want to play the 5. You want to try not to be hitting that low E string. But again, at this stage, it doesn't matter too much. You know, one thing I really found, Angus, as a beginner, was a lot of things the guitar teachers tell you to do that they try and say you should be learning. Some of them are quite good, but a lot of them actually kind of come naturally. So that trick with putting the thumb over the top, for example, I just found myself doing that. And later on when you get to do bar chords, they'll tell you all these weird things to do with your finger, right? Roll your finger on its side and put a curl in it. But actually, that comes naturally later on. And what I think happens is a lot of the guitar teachers, they've been playing for so long, they can't actually remember how those skills came. So I would say, I'm not saying be sloppy, but I'm also saying get yourself playing. You know, that's what you want to do, is you want to get a few songs, you want to get these simple chords under your fingers so that you can play some songs that you like, right? That is what will make you play. And then later on, you know, practice your scales and all that other stuff. But let's get playing in the beginning, and that'll get you picking up your guitar for fun, right? So this song, I'm just going to play it nice and slowly so that you can try and get yourself up to speed with it. On Saturday, remind me and I'll give you the chord sheet for it so you can follow it by yourself. So it's just, again, we've got those, your fingers like that. So you're in that second fret. Index finger on the 5th string. Middle finger on the 4th string. And all 6 strings you want to be strumming, so we'll do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we move to our C chord. Okay, which is that ring finger on the 5th string in the 3rd fret, middle finger on the 4th string in the 2nd fret, and first finger on the 2nd string in the 1st fret. And we're just going to strum those strings 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. Yep. Then we're going to head over to the G string, so we have to let everything go. We get our pinky on the high E string in the 3rd fret, ring finger on the 2nd string in the 3rd fret, middle finger on the 6th string in the 3rd fret, and index finger on the 5th string in the 2nd fret. Play all 6 strings 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you remember you can use this ring finger that's on the 2nd string of the 3rd fret as an anchor, and just move your index finger to the 3rd string in the 2nd fret, and your middle finger to the high E string in the 2nd fret. Make that little triangle, and that's your D. Remember, you only want to be playing those strings 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 4 times. Alright, so again, we'll just play it from the top, just nice and slow. So E minor, 2, 3, 4, C major, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4, and E minor, 2, 3, and 4, and C major, 3, and 4, and G, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Mine is not forever. At least we got together. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. Anywhere, whenever, apart but still together. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. And just to show you, with the capo, pop that on the 3rd fret, like that. And you're just going to play exactly the same shapes, right? Even though, as I said, that E becomes a G minor, but it doesn't matter. You just play the same shapes, So and you can hear now that I'm in the correct key. E minor, C shape. If this night is not forever, at least we are together. No, I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. Anywhere, whenever, apart but still together. No, I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. Good. Anyway, any questions, Angus? Feel free to ask me on Saturday. I don't mind if you come in a little bit early and bring your guitar in if you want, and I can show you those chords right in front of you. If you don't have a capo, you need to borrow one, let me know. Okay then.